Welcome back to the next episode in this series where I am talking to you about the founder identity. So let's just do a quick recap of what we've covered thus far. We've gone through the frantic founder and we've talked about how they are doing everything on their own. Their business may not even be profitable. Sales are inconsistent. We talked about the frustrated founder and how you may have some team members supporting you and people that are supporting you, but you still feel like you have to do everything yourself. And we talked about the unfulfilled founder, and that founder really is looking at the business that they've built and not really sure that they like it, right? They're not really sure that they've built it on something that they actually believe in. And so that's what we've covered thus far. The next founder in the phase of the founder identities is the focused founder, right? And this is where you really start to get focused, for lack of a better term. So you have a marketing strategy, right? It works. You know it works. It's yours. It's customizable. You know how to adopt it. You know how to change things. You know how to shift things to make it work. Your success is likely repeatable, but it's actually manual. So you may not be doing the manual work, but your team may be doing the manual work to actually repeat the success that you've achieved. And you're looking at what you have and you're not really sure why you or your team are continuing to work overtime even though you have something that works, right? So you know that there's a gap and you know that you did not get into entrepreneurship to continue to work overtime, and you also don't want to carry that over into your team culture. So you may be outgrowing some things, you may be looking at some things, trying to figure out where did you go wrong or what do you need to fix. Now, your revenue at this point is very consistent, right? So revenue is not an issue. You're growing, your company is growing, but again, people are working overtime in order to help you see that growth or help your company see that growth. Now, a couple of the reasons why this may be the case is because you have overcomplicated your strategy, right? A lot of times when people put together strategies, they put in additional steps, things that don't matter, things that kind of just convolute the process. And so that could be one of the causes and the reason why you or your team is working overtime to get the repeatable results that you are trying to achieve. And in the overcomplication of processes, you're burning yourself out. You're burning your team out. People are exhausted, right? It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And you're really unsure how to actually look at what you're doing and make it a repeatable process that is not manual, right? And so you just continue to do things the same way that you've done them. And you really want to expand your business at a more rapid pace, but you know that the manual nature in which you're implementing marketing, in which you're executing things is not going to allow you to get there. So at this stage, you may actually be believing that your company can't grow beyond where it's growing, right? You have that consistent revenue, it's coming in every month, but you feel like just with the way things are set up right now, you can't go to the next level. And you also feel like you may still need to kind of be involved in things, right? You have to come in and be all hands on deck. So I used to work for a finance company, and when I used to manage a call center team, and when the phones went crazy, managers and above also had to get on the phone. We called it all hands on deck. So when things are going wrong in your business, or when your team is completely overwhelmed or you're short staffed, you then have to step in and it's all hands on deck, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're doing it too frequently. It's always all hands on deck. It's not a one-time thing. It's all the time. Everybody needs to have all hands on deck. And so at this point, your focus in your business needs to be about simplification. Less is more, simplification. I want you to look at your processes, because you have the processes in place. You have the systems in place. Look at what things can you remove from the processes. What things can you remove from the systems that you've set up that can simplify and make it easier for you and your team to get things done. And then I want you to automate. You must automate, right? This is really the only way you're going to be able to have a scalable process is through automations. So look at your business and look at what are the things that you can actually automate. How can you set those up? There are many systems, many tools, or not systems, excuse me, many software platforms and many tools that you can use to actually help you set up and automate things in your business. You should be trying to automate everything, okay? There should not really be any manual processes in place in your business, especially at this stage in the game where you're so focused on getting to that next level and being able to scale. Now, sometimes this may call for you looking at your team and assessing and kind of cutting the fat, right? Who on your team is actually a part of the overworking, right? Who here is overcomplicating things? Do you have people on the team that are kind of getting in the way of getting things done? And not talking about it from a personal perspective, I'm talking about it from a process perspective. Have you overhired in your company? Do you have not enough hires, right? So it's really sitting and taking an internal look and assessing how can you make your marketing ecosystem better? How can you make it stronger? How can you make it more fluid? And how can you actually simplify it? Again, remember, less is more. More is not more, less is more in this case, especially as a focused founder. So I want you to think about this, right? This is going to cause you to make some tough decisions. And as a focused founder, this is the stage in the game where you're really going to have to start showing up and you're going to have to make those hard decisions, whether that means getting rid of some people, bringing new people on. That is really the only way that you're going to be able to scale this and get that scalable process in place and have a marketing ecosystem that actually works for you and your business so that the manual nature comes out, right? Kudos to you, focused founder, because you're at the stage where you are about ready to scale. It's looking like you're getting ready to scale. And so we will be talking about this in the next episode where we are going to explore the fulfilled founder. So if you identify with the focused founder or any of the founders that we've explored thus far, I want you to let me know. Write a comment, send us a note, right? If you're unsure, make sure you take the quiz. The link is going to be in the show notes so that you can identify correctly what stage of the founder's journey you are on and what are some things that you can do to help get you to that next level and maybe even skip a couple stages. All right. So I will see you on the next episode where, again, we're going to be talking about the fulfilled founder. I will see you then.